Well, hello everyone at YouTube. I'm back, and I am here to report that I have had my braces on now for 1 month and 2 days. But who's counting, right? Those of you who wear braces, particularly in the beginning stages as I am, are probably counting the minutes you've had these things on. I definitely am at the point now in my process here where I can't remember what it's like not to have the braces on. Fortunately, I'm not in pain. I really haven't had pain at all, other than the fact that initially the hooks and the brackets were somewhat rubbing on my cheeks and would give me some canker sores. I would recommend, I remember, I'd read so much about having braces and the pitfalls and so forth. I went out and bought like several different kinds of canker sore cures and soothing rinses. But I really only had discomfort for probably about 3 or 4 days. And so now I've got this stockpile of, Rinsanol and Ambisol and so forth, and I probably don't need to use it. Maybe I'll just keep it to ward away the canker sores. Now, maybe once I start wearing elasticus, I'll find myself using it again, but really, once you get past that initial 3 or 4 days, there really isn't that kind of a development of canker sores. So, and I've actually found just rubbing some salt, look at my finger, rubbing some salt on the canker sore is usually the best effective cure. Either that or taking a Q-tip and dipping it in hydrogen peroxide. That also is pretty effective. So I want to talk to you for a minute about a dental kit that I have put together on my own that I really am so grateful I have, that I keep at work and I take it traveling with me. In fact, I went camping for a week, and I took this kit with me, and I'm going to be going to Washington, D.C. for business in a couple weeks, and it's just packed, it's ready to go, so you don't have to think about it, just grab it and go. So what I did was I went to Target, and in the cosmetics section, they have a section where you have different kind of bags, somewhat large, that's maybe 1 foot long by 8 inches tall. And it's got, main zipper compartment, which you open up, and there's 2 side compartments. Doesn't really matter what you end up getting, but inside that kit, I have stocked it with a portable water pick, which I really like. So now at lunch at work, I can just, discreetly go into the bathroom at the faculty room, and I can actually water pick my teeth at lunchtime. It's got my toothpaste, my traveling toothbrush. It's got mouthwash. It's got floss. It's got the Placker interdental tools. It's got just about everything that I would have at home, but it's all in one place. It's not just sitting in my desk, it's definitely something. It's just really can't say enough about being prepared for those dental deals. I certainly wouldn't take it out, if I'm just going to a restaurant. But when you're at work all day, gone for 8 hours, it's kind of nice to know you can get that, fresh feeling of having your mouth, flossed and brushed, wherever you are when you're at work. So that's kind of cool. I also wanted to mention a product that I haven't seen anybody actually in a video talk about, but when I was doing all my shopping before I got my braces, I bought a lot of stuff I didn't even know it was used for or if I would use it. And while the first 3 or 4 days my teeth were really sore and I wanted nothing to do with touching my teeth or anything to touch my teeth, even forks and knives and spoons and whatever, I found a product that I really like a lot that I bought that didn't really know what it was used for, but it's called Bite Wafer. And a Bite Wafer can actually come in different scented flavors. Mine happens to be fruit. And it's a little silicone disc like this. Okay, it's really thin. And what it does is it allows you to exercise your gums. That's one of the important things, I think, in teeth movement, is not to let your gums atrophy. So, you know, it's not that all my teeth can touch each other at this point, but when I use this bite wafer, I can selectively chew on it, and it really feels soothing, kind of like a baby with a teething ring. But, you know, I read somewhere that someone was using a dog teething toy to chew on, and this just feels a little more adult. Okay, so basically it fits in your mouth like this. And you can kind of pretend like you're just chewing gum. So you aren't actually chewing gum, but you get the satisfaction of like you're chewing on something. Now, in my case, I'm kind of a pencil biter, or I like to put things like my glasses in the ends of my glasses in my mouth and kind of chew on them. But, you know, that's not good for your brackets. But this is actually designed to chew on. And I can understand how a baby or a toddler likes to chew on things, because it really feels very comforting and kind of soothing, and kind of, it feels kind of squeaky, like you can feel your tooth moving as you bite on it, but it doesn't hurt. It just feels, you can feel the looseness in your teeth when you do this. And, you know, you can bite it this way, or put it on the other side. You know, wherever you want. You can put it in backwards. I've done that, where if you want to avoid your front teeth touching it, you can do that. It just kind of massages your gums and your teeth inside your sockets. So I would recommend, if you haven't tried one and, you know, you feel like there's an itchiness in your teeth, this will really do the trick. So with the bite wafer. And I got that, I believe, at dentakit.com. You can't find those in the store that I know of. Let's see, what else was I going to mention? I do get that clicking sound sometimes in my teeth, particularly at night when I'm laying in bed before I sleep. I'll feel this, like, I've always wanted to clench my teeth. I wonder if any of you out there have ever felt this desire to be constantly like clenching and like putting my tongue up against the arch and pushing to make my teeth go out and then in. It feels good, but I don't know if it's good for me to be doing that. So if any of you have any information about that, I'd appreciate knowing that. Food. Interesting topic. I mean, I get really hungry, and a lot of the things I can't eat now because I don't have so much pain in my mouth, but because I have these bite buildups on the back of my back molars, I just don't feel like I enjoy food like I used to. It's like almost disappointing. Like I look forward to having whatever it is on the menu. You know, we'll cook something and I can taste it. But when it gets into your mouth, it's like, it's very difficult to chew it still. You know, because I didn't realize how much you kind of grind your teeth and you move the food around your mouth in order to digest your food and to enjoy it. So I feel like I'm just like kind of chopping the food and then I have to swallow it. So I make it small and I can tear the food up enough to make it small enough to swallow, but it's like there's some enjoyment lacking in eating. It's kind of frustrating, unless it's ice cream or something really soft. It's like, you know, eating a chicken or even spaghetti. It's like it's like an up and down, but it's, unlike a cow, you can kind of like chew your, you know, move the food around your mouth. It doesn't happen because you want to avoid keeping the food out of your arch wires and your brackets, so you kind of chew it and swallow it. So it's a little bit disappointing, you know, when you eat. And when you do eat, if you take too big of a bite like I have done recently, I found myself with a wire, the back arch wire had removed. I have the Damon braces, so you have those little, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's a bead tube in the back that wire goes into. Well, wouldn't you know it, I pulled my tube right out, and so I got this wire, about an inch of a wire just sticking out the back. And my first appointment for my adjustment is not for another 8 days, and I really don't want to go early. I want to stay on my schedule, and I really don't want to keep making frequent trips. So I was hell-bound to, you know, replace that back into the tube, and with great difficulty and a high-powered 10 magnification mirror, I was able to put the wire back into its proper tube. I'm not sure what causes that. If my teeth are starting to grow out, that now the wire's getting shorter. I don't know what causes it, but you got these stoppers in the middle, right? So your wire can't go past that stopping point. So I don't know what caused it, but since I'm up here close, I'll go ahead and show you what my teeth look like today. So the wires are getting straighter. I don't know. I could appreciate some feedback and some cheerleading here. Does anyone who's seen my first video think that my teeth have straightened at all? Because, again, like all of you, I look constantly, and sometimes I get really discouraged because I really want to think that I'm making progress. And I know I am intuitively, but, you know, it sure is nice to get feedback as to what's going on. And my husband's not a big help in that. He's like, yeah, whatever. You know, I mean, he's supportive, but it's not like the rest of you guys who are going through the experience. So, yeah. My biggest issues is one tooth that's a little longer, and the one to the side. I'm waiting for them to straighten out and fly right. And also I've noticed with my bite, a big problem I'm having is if you look from the side, you'll notice my teeth kind of slant inward instead of out. So look at this. And I still can't, you know, my bite still doesn't close. So if I close my mouth and smile, you'll see my tongue all over the place. See all that gap there? So I don't know what they're going to do to bring that together. You know, I'm concerned now that I've started this process. I'm so afraid they're going to say, "Oh, we thought we could do this all with braces and elastics, but lo and behold, you're going to need to have jaw surgery." You know, I'm a little worried because somebody, or the orthodontist had mentioned I might need to have a Herbst appliance. You know, I did research about a Herbst appliance, and I'm not so sure someone who's in their mid-50s, such as I, should be doing something that's intended for a kid whose bones are still, and their palate's still growing, 12 and 13 years old. So, I don't know, does anyone out there have a bite expander or any kind of appliance to widen your arch? And has it been effective? That's my question for those of you out there. If you could let me know, that would relieve a lot of stress in my life, because I don't know, you know, what they can do about my bite, my cross bite and my overbite, because I'm not 12 or 13 anymore. So what's their plan? So that's my plan to ask when I go to my next appointment. It's like, okay, now that I've done some research, what are we doing here? So anyway, let me just check my list. I think that's all I was going to say. If anyone has any questions or comments, let me know and I'll do my best to answer them. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.